All right, this one is a really cool video. Yeah, I know, I'm talking about my own video like that. So today's video, I'm going to be talking about what would happen if a young Johnny Lawrence would fight Miguel. Who would win? Hope you enjoy. What's up, boys and girls? This is Vin Jimfi. I hope you're having a smashing day, and if it's your first time to the channel, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss my upcoming videos, and hit that notification bell because apparently you have to do that in order to get updates on my new videos. And for the rest of you, thank you for joining me once again. I want to remind you all that still nobody has figured out what's in that box. I'm starting to get tired of it, and if nobody figures out by the end of the year, I'm gonna toss it out. I swear I will toss it out. All you have to do is just guess in the comment section what it is, and it's yours. Or you can just go through all of my videos and try to find that link to that secret video where I show you what's in it. Whew. Okay, I've done my pitch. Now let's get to the topic of today. Today's topic is basically who would win if Johnny Lawrence, the younger version of Johnny Lawrence, would fight Miguel. Okay, now this is actually a very good question that I got from one of the subscribers, and the reason why I think it's an interesting question, it's not at all ludicrous, it's not at all, because you have to wonder sort of skills wise, like who's on top here. It's interesting to me, at least, like who's on top here. Is it really Johnny because he did win the All Valley, but then again, who did else? Yeah, Miguel also won the All Valley tournament. So both of them are technically speaking champions, okay? Now, Johnny Lawrence could have been better because he maybe trained longer than Miguel had. That would be an argument to say, and also you'd have to take into account who's the better trainer. Is it Johnny, or is John Kreese a better trainer? So there are a lot of factors to take into this situation, and if I really think about it, it is actually a tough call. My guess who would be the better fighter is, you know, I'll get to that in a second, but first let's talk a little bit more about, you know, the background of these two characters. So first of all, I think that Johnny Lawrence is hugely motivated by a sort of sense of hate towards his stepfather, and I think that when he gets into that ring, so to speak, I mean technically it's a mat and there are really no rings in that tournament, but when he gets into it and he wants to fight, it seems to me, when I'm watching at least the Cobra Kai series, that his opponent, the one he's fighting in his head, is always his stepfather. And you know, I think the reasons for that could be multiple. I don't think we've actually seen everything and why he really disliked him so much. I think there's going to be more unraveled in season 2, but we'll see about that. So there's a lot of frustration, and karate gave him the sense of peace that he wanted. Now, if we take Miguel, on the other hand, the reason he started training because he was tired of being bullied. But was he really bullied that much? I don't think he was, actually. He was bullied a little bit, but it didn't seem to me like he was bullied a lot and he was like completely devastated. He was just tired of getting like pushed around, and he took up karate. He wasn't so invested in, but what really drove him to actually win that tournament was, of course, the whole thing with Sam, you know, and he just really wanted to kick butt, so to speak. Having said so, also I think it's important to consider the fact that there is still something about Miguel that sets him apart. Like I think that Johnny noticed that about him when he started to train him, but it did take him a while to train him fully. And there was a time when all he could focus on was Miguel. He didn't have a full class, and when Johnny started practice, apparently there was a whole class. Now we don't know exactly what went down, but from what I can take from it, he just started to take karate lessons with a whole bunch of people. Now, my point is simply, he didn't get like a personal trainer, because I think that's important. It's an important aspect here. Like, if you train in a group, the process of developing, I think it will be actually a bit slower than when you have just one trainer focusing on one person. That's like, imagine having a personal trainer. Like my wife has a personal trainer, and it's made a lot of results for her training. It helps a lot more than just, you know, going to gym class and have like a trainer that trains like 20 people. I'm just thinking like from a rational point of view. There are obviously many advantages to having lots of fighters. Like I used to be in group therapy. For me, that was so much more, that was so much better than actually just being in like single therapy. But maybe that's like a really bad example, I don't know. I do that sometimes. I constantly get accused of using the way off examples, but that's what I do, you know. So here, if we take these two skilled fighters, I mean, there's no argument about it. Like both of them are very skilled. If we're looking at their fighting techniques, I would say that Johnny is more like offensive and he's going for it. And Miguel seems to be a bit more of a like a Spider-Man. You know, the cafeteria scene, like he could just jump around and do all sorts of acrobatics. He was more like a spider monkey, you know. Spider monkey. But that's the take I took from it. But then when we saw him in the tournament, he was like pure evil. Like sort of, there were moments when he had like full gore hate, not for the reason of causing, you know, fear in the opponent, but he was just gonna crush. He has a dark side. Like I don't know how they're gonna swing it in like season 2. But my guess is that they're gonna, I think they're gonna like put in this whole argument that he has a bit of his father in him, you know? Because as his mother said, his father, whether he was from Ecuador or whatever he was from, he was a very bad person. I think he had a temperament issue, and I definitely get the sense of that from Miguel. And a lot of people who have been like complaining when I say that, because they're like, no, he was just drinking, and the guy stole his girlfriend. It was just a natural reaction. There was nothing, you know, over the top here. Nothing wrong with the way he reacted. Well, you know, that's a topic for a different video perhaps. But my point is that Miguel definitely has a dark side, just like Hawk definitely showed some kind of a dark side within him. I think there's going to be something similar here. Like I really think that if we take a fighter like Miguel, you have to take his whole psychology into play. It's not just skill, is it? Like if we take someone like Mike Tyson, it's not just skill. There was something more than skill when it came to Mike Tyson. I'm talking about the early years, like when he was dominating his fighters. Like, I mean, nobody even wanted to fight Mike Tyson. He had something more, and it wasn't just the fact that he could hit like a tank. Like his mind was like full gore blast. I'm gonna go through him like going through a wall. I'm just gonna keep on pounding, and I'm not gonna stop until he's on the ground just spitting out blood. And I don't think that Miguel's intention is that, but he sort of did have that look on his face in the tournament. So I think that we're talking also motivation between the two characters, and this is I know it's hard to imagine a fantasy match between a young Johnny Lawrence versus Miguel, but if we sort of picture it, again, motivation would be a huge thing, and it will be impossible. So we're just gonna skip the whole motivation part, like why they would fight each other, whether it would be bullying or whether it would be just to be number one. We'll just have to leave that at the door, because it's impossible to imagine that kind of scenario. But again, I do think that if we're talking just pure skill, just the essence of pure skill, I'm still gonna go with Johnny Lawrence on this one. I know, I'm sorry it took like 9 minutes to get to the point. It was kind of gnarly of me to do it. Now, let me explain why. I think basically Johnny Lawrence is a very skilled fighter in the Karate Kid Cobra Kai universe. And it's sort of the way I saw how he handled himself in every scene where he fought. Like in the scene in the tournament in Karate Kid 1, the way he handled himself when he was taking on Kyler and the thugs. And the way he fought, it just felt like pure determination. Like he's not gonna let anybody gonna beat him. When it comes to Miguel, I feel it's more like technicality. Like, no, technicality is the wrong word. I feel like basically Miguel, he's using skills. He's very skilled at jumping around, making the right moves at the right time. He has an instinct for it, you know, but he's a spider monkey. And it's a spider monkey versus Johnny Lawrence. I like saying spider monkey, I don't know why. But I think that Johnny Lawrence, basically, he has a bit of strength, he has a bit of skill, and he has like different factors that will determine the outcome of the fight. And I think he has some strength, he has speed, he has technique, he has the mentality to dominate. And I think when it comes to Miguel, he's got skills and he's got, you know, that dark side, which you just don't know if it's gonna pop up if he would fight, you know. Again, I don't know like how you'd make this fantasy match unless you actually also have to count the fact that Miguel sees that he's fighting his trainer. And obviously, I think that Johnny Lawrence definitely was taught a lot more than he's taught Miguel. The reason why I say that is because I can imagine that Miyagi would teach Daniel everything he knows. But when it comes to Johnny, it's not that he's like selfish, but I think that he's sort of kind of lazy, if you know what I mean. And I don't think he would teach him everything. And he couldn't have. Like, again, we keep discussing the timeline. It could have been max a year that Cobra Kai season 1 happened. And I think that Johnny Lawrence trained a lot longer than that. At least 2 or 3 years. At least I know he did, because we know that he won the All Valley tournament a year before. In Karate Kid 1, so we know that already. Okay, this video has gone on long enough. These are just my thoughts, my theories, my thoughts. I really like to know what you think. Let me know, put it in the comment section below, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.
Okay, that was it. Hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, see that like button, smash it. And I got some freakishly awesome videos coming up. Better subscribe so you don't miss a beat. I'll see you later. Peace.